Alright everybody, hello, my name is Chromium Light and welcome to my Livesplit tutorial. Livesplit is a speedrunning application slash timer that 90% of speedrunners use. A few people don't use it for, I don't know why, they should, but yeah. So, there will be a link to the Livesplit website where you can download it. It will be the first link in the description, and yeah. Once you install it, you will see a Livesplit underscore version 1.1, 1.7.6. You want to open up that folder and then you want to find this, your Livesplit application. Open it up and then you will have this pop up. Now what you want to do is I should actually probably close that. Um, Now, once this is here, if you right click on it and press edit splits, you will see a splits editor. And yeah. And what you'll do up here, you'll put your game name. So for me, I run the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And then you see right here the run categories. You see all of these. Oop, that's wrong. What you see right here is my own custom splits, but I'll get to that later. As you'll see right here, let's just put any percent. Right, we'll just link to any percent right there. And if you look on the left-hand side of the bar of the screen, well, I guess the window, you will see all the things you can do. So if you tap here and you tap, if you like, if you press here, you'll add some splits. So let me insert some splits, and so I'm gonna make my, my file, Kakariko, empty bottle, and as you see here, you don't have to, you can have an infinite amount. As you see, you can move these up and down as you please and such. Let me change this. So you see, this is what it looks like base. This is what normal looks like. And if we go back into the menu, you can see, yeah, you'll see, and then there's three different tabs. So there's RTA, well, there's the real time, then there's the game time, then there's additional info. Usually the additional info tab will contain, like, the rules and stuff. Basically stuff you can find on speedrun.com. Same as here, you can see our region, you can put this. If you're using an emulator, you can press this. And like as here, you can put platform. I use the Wii Virtual Console. And yeah. So once you well, actually, I'm almost done. So as you see, you can put a icon here. So if I go into here and let's open up my Ocarina of Time. So if I can put, let's say I put the Ocarina of Time thing here. You'll see it is right here now. You'll see it's now right there, and you can do that with all your splits. For example, I will put these for all my splits. And you can use really anything that's like a I guess like a ICO or PNG file. And as you see here, now here, and as you see, but if you look over here, you'll see like add comparison. This can add here. So let's say I put best. You'll see that on this like little chart here, it'll add an extra column for your best times. You can do and you can import a comparison from any of these links, from speedrun.com, from file or URL, and you can do other. And these can just basically, like, you can clean your sum of best, clean times, and your history. That's basically everything for the splits editor. Now we're gonna go. So now let's start again, like actually customizing your thing. So this is what mine currently looks like. Well, this is the one I currently use. This is mine. This is mine right now. Anime. It's whatever. So, and also, if you go to this open layout, you can save them here. And if you want to just go back to the default one, you just press this right here, and you'll see you're back here. Anyway, if you go to edit layout, you'll see this little window pop up. What you can do here is, well, the way I have mine set up is I take out this timer, I go here, and then I put the detail timer, and then I move it back to here. I just see there's another like timer here. That is your segment timer. So as I'll show right here, you see that I'm gonna split, and you'll see that this one reset. And every time I split, it's gonna keep going, and so forth. And there's a whole lot more you can do here. For example, I'll run down everything. In the list here, there are subsplits. I won't really get into subsplits because they can be. It's kind of technical. It's a whole lot of technical stuff. Basically, I'll give you a basic rundown. So if let's see, you see my escape split right here. If I had a subsplit, I can add like little mini things to do, and then once I actually escape, this thing will close, and then it'll start here, and then so forth as many as I please. For this information tab, you have current comparison, which shows what you're comparing against. Right now, I'm comparing against my PB. But you also can compare against your personal bet. Well, that's PB. Your best segments, average segments, worst segments, balance segments, and etc. Delta shows the current how far or behind you are in your run, and on that certain comparison. Possible time save is there's two different types. So the one I'm showing you right now is just your possible time split on that single split. I guess I should explain what a split is. A split is these individual columns right here. You see these individual rows are splits, and they have their own separate times and stuff. Previous segment, well, it shows you how much time you gained or lost to your previous segment. Run prediction is the time that as of that current split, and assuming that you do better or worse, it will change accordingly. If you do good, you'll see the time go down. If you're doing bad, you'll see the time go up. As you see, sum of best is a sum of all your best segments into a single time. If you were to best every single segment, you would get that time. Text, as it says right there, display any text that you want it to show. Title, it's this right here. This is the title. It displays your name, the name of your game, the category, the attempt counter, and if so wish, the icon for your game. There's total playtime, which shows your total playtime with these splits. World record shows the current world record for that category. In media, you have a graph, which shows a graph compared. So as you see, it's this right here. So if I was to, let me set just a quick PB. Okay, so you'll see that I'm out even, I'm behind, I'm ahead, I'm behind, I'm behind, I'm ahead, I'm behind, I'm behind. That's how it works. But let's say you do really good. You see? Then it goes down. You can change that to however you like. Let's get back into here. Media. Sound effects. So basically, you can add a sound file for each split. So let's say basically what you see a lot of people do. For example, one of my favorite streamers, Linkus7, he uses two specific sound effects from The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker H. Well, just the Wind Waker. He uses the Salvatore Kaboom and Sploosh. He uses the Sploosh sound whenever he loses a run. He uses the Kaboom sound whenever he gets a new personal best. And yeah. Pretty self-explanatory. So you can also do it from other things. You can do it for like resetting a split. Well, like you can do it for like skipping a split, undoing a split, splitting, pausing, and etc. Here's a video. You can, again, insert a video file to have above your splits. As it says here, shows a PB or world record video that is synced up to the current runtime. Yeah. As you control, you have a manual game time. What this does is, as you get to that point, you will have a there will be a window pops up saying insert game time. Basically what that does is once you get that split, it's like, okay, in-game time is what at this point? You would put the number in, and then you click OK, and then you continue. The scriptable auto splitter is really complicated to explain. I don't know how to use it. I've never used it before. I've never had to use it before. But as it says right here on the description, allows scripts using in the ASL language to define splitting behavior. I have zero clue what that means because I'm not very smart when it comes to like all the like the tech and stuff that goes into it. But yeah. And the other here, you just have blank space, which just leaves a configurable side. It leaves a blank space that you can change to your will. The hotkey indicator shows if you like press. Yeah, it shows if your global hotkeys are on or off. If it's red, it's off. If it's green, it's on. The separator right here, it just shows a line to separate components. That's it. But now let's get a bit more in depth. Let's not do that. Let me add some things. Let me add possible time, possible run prediction, sum of best, and sure. Now if we go into layout settings, how long have I been recording this? Okay. If we go out to layout settings, this window will pop up. This window, you can basically change absolutely everything through this. So you see this background color, I can change it. So a window will pop up, and as you see it, it will just change. You can change it to whatever you like, and yeah. I like to leave it, basic black. I like to change it to a certain thing, a certain like. Actually, no. I'm getting tongue-tied. There will be this like drop-down box. It will show you solid color vertical gradient, so you can do this, and then let's say this. As you'll see, it creates a gradient between two of your colors of choice, which can create some pretty cool-looking stuff. You can do that with the horizontal, or you can insert an image. The image I use is, if I can find it, this. This is what I use as an image. This is mine. You don't have to use this. You can use basically anything you want. As you see here, you will see the opacity. You can make it show up very like faded, like opaque, or completely transparent. Well, very translucent. So it's still there, but you can barely see it, and then it's, sort of, it has an opaque look, but it's very translucent, and then it's just, you can't see past it. Okay, and now here, you'll see the font. So the timer, I use a thing, well, I didn't start using this. Another one of my favorite streamers called Pope Squidward uses this font, Nexa Bold. It looks super cool. As you see, my timer now looks decent. I use that for basically everything on my Livesplit because it looks pretty cool. I like the look of it. It makes everything have a bit nicer look to it. The Sergio look doesn't really look that nice. Now that I've done that, you'll see now everything on here has changed. You can change the anti-analyzing, to your own will. Do whatever you like. Let's see. You can also add shadows, but I feel like the shadows make it look nicer. Now we can get on to colors. So you see here, a best segment is default of this like goldish color. which is, you know, a gold segment. You golded that split. You did good. Or you can use the rainbow split. It's the best segment color, which is noise, by the way. You can also change everything else. You can change your ahead slash gaining time thing split. So as you see here, it's green, but if you're like me, you have it as like pink because I'm a girly man. And you see that you can change I personally like to leave it still red to know like, oh yeah, I did bad. I don't want to see a different color for that. You can also do that for like this stuff, like personal best. I'll allow you to like find out and tinker with that stuff because this video is already going to be decently long. And yeah, as you see here, you can everything here in this thing is customizable. And you'll see you'll always I don't know what these are. You can show best segments. You can like, you know, not show them. Depends who you are. And yeah. Let's go into the title thing. As you'll see here, you can show your finished run count. As you see, I finished 2 out of 4 runs. You can censor the text. You can display game and category in a single row. You can show your region. You can show your platform. And yeah, you can do that. And you can also change the background color to this. With the splits, there's a lot you can do with splits. I like to make my splits, you know, a little bit bigger so I have an easier time seeing them. As you'll see here, you can show your total splits. You don't have to make it incredibly big. You can make them small, like this. You can do this, which is a-okay, so you don't like have a giant like gap. But let's say you do have a giant gap. Let's say if it's like, you know, back to this default. You can check, if you uncheck this box, it will automatically shrink down. But be wary with this. If you open up a new split file, it will have this like really small box that you have to rechange to adjust. I personally would just leave this box checked and just go down to the amount that you need it. As you see here, you can change your current split background color. What I like to do is I like to make it like a green. Because, you know, green being my favorite color, yeah, I like looking at it. And split names. If you have a split name that goes all the way across here, it will automatically abbreviate it for you. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way if, you know, if you have a thing here in your delta right here, like cuts some of it off, it will just start, you know, abbreviating. You can add color to your split. So as you see here, you can make like it's very intricate, I guess you could say, because you can like, let's say I could make the before split pink, current split gold or bright yellow, and after split green. As you'll see here, that's the after split. I don't personally use this, but you can. It's not really gonna hurt you. I already just showed what the icons did. The deltas. Your delta is the numbers after here. This is a delta. That's a delta. As you'll see here, the color is actually working. But yeah, this is a delta. And layout. Back into here. Back into splits. Here, it's live delta color. You can change it. I don't know what exactly it does, but it does something pretty cool. On split times, I'm pretty sure it works the same way as it does the split names. I'm pretty sure it works the exact same way. Accuracy, you can change it to, you know, show tenths, hundredths, depends who you are. Depends if you like nerds. I personally keep mine on tenths because I like seeing the tenth of a second that I left off on. Here is something that's really interesting that you can do. So I'm going to end that. I'm going to make this a bit larger so I have a better space to do this. So if I go back to splits and then I go all the way down here to the columns, you can show columns, what shows here. You can have I would suggest using up to like 4, because after that it starts cutting into your split names, and that's just not fun. So what I like to do is I like to have this first column as like, my PB, and what I can do is I can call and type. I can make, so right now it's a split. So making it, if once you like, split, it shows the time and only the time. But you can change that to delta or split time, which means it will show how much time you saved or lost to that split without actually showing the total time. Same here. This is your delta, which is that little which is that like minus number right here. You can do that here. And what I like to do is I like to have that as my like average or AVG. I also like to I like to have sometimes 3 if I'm feeling it. I'll move this to the top. Move up. Move up. And I'll keep this here, and I'll call it my sum of best, which is your split delta time comparison best segments. And then this AVG, or my average, I can comparison change it to average segments. And then here I can change it to personal best. There you go. That's how this works. I remember it took me a very long time to find out how this works, but once you start using it, it's really not that difficult. Now we're getting into the detail timer. This detail timer it's basically, it works the same like every other thing. You can change this, you can change whatever timing method if you can just, you want to. You can hide the comparison. So basically, if I show you right now, if you look right here, you'll see 2 things. You'll see my current comparison and then best. Best is always there by default, and this will change. So if I use my hotkeys I have, it will change. So it shows best, 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 average, PB, such. Now now I'm going to go back into it. And now what you can see, now something that's interesting to do. Oh, before I actually talk about that, you can change the height of your splits. You can change normal height. You can change your segment time, make it bigger, or you make it really small. Depends who you are. You can override the color. I don't really know what this does. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, no. Oh wait, no. I know what this does. This overrides this one. So you see it's gray right now. If I override it, let's say I make it, pink. As you'll see, it changes to pink. You see this, and you can also change this here. You can change it to only show seconds, show the 10th of a second or 100th of a second. You can also change it to do minutes, hour, or into the tens of hours. Depends who you are. I like to leave it like this and this. Well, I like to leave my main timer like that. I like having my other timer bigger. Not like that. I like doing this, lining up the decimal points, and yeah. You can also change your segment timer. So I'll change this to green. And now it's green. I didn't mean to do that. Oop. You can also change the segment labels. So if you really wanted to, you could change it to, yeah. You could change like the little thing right here. Like as I said, the little like comparison right here, you can change it like the PB and best to whatever font you want. You can also change it to from hundredths to tenths to seconds. You could display the icon, which as I will show right here. You can see it right there. I might just actually leave that on the whole time. And yeah, and you can also show split name. I don't use the icon. I just use the split name because I find it more convenient, and plus I really don't like looking at a split. I don't like looking at the icon. Now things get a little bit less complicated from here on out. Those were just the really complicated stuff that I really wanted to get out of the way and show you. Now we're getting on to the less complicated stuff. Now we are on the Now we're on to like your little things down here. Now, well, actually no, this is a previous segment. So you can show possible time save. Let's say if I gold the split, I don't exactly know what it means, but I think it'll like show you how much time you saved over regular, I think. I'm not entirely sure. You can also override the text color on this, change it to hundredths and tenths or regular seconds, depends who you are. On the graph, you can change the comparison to whatever you feel is necessary. You can change all this if you want. I personally leave it all the same. The one thing I do change is my best. I change it to like a teal. That's just me. Possible time. Now, if we go to possible time save, you'll see these two are the same like every other one. You can display two rows like you did in the other ones, like you could in most. You can show your total possible time save, which shows the total amount of time save you can save throughout the entire run. How many times do I want to say time save in a single sentence? But yeah. And it's the same here. You can override the text color and the time and the accuracy. You can change the accuracy if you feel it. Current pace. Now, what I do is my comparison, I always leave it on best segments. So it will show you, so it will start off showing your same time as your sum of best. But if you like, let's say anytime you go past your best split, it'll add on to your possible time at the end. It's the same with your current pace and stuff. It's always like that. Again, add two rows, change the color and accuracy. Sum of best is basically the same thing except you don't have a comparison and you can just do all this. Now, current comparison works well, it's kind of the same. It's like the same other. You can change your background and all that, and change and override the colors to make it whatever you want and font. Now that we're finally through the layout stuff, we can go into the end bit, which is your settings. In settings here, I will show you. So basically, what you'll see here, I'm gonna change all of these. I'm gonna basically change these to done. So I'm gonna do all this back to how it normally would be. So as you will see here, I will show you the settings I use. You can use whatever you want, whatever you feel necessary. I use my start/split as my space button. I use my reset as omen minus, which is your like minus/underscore button. My undo button is left on the arrow key. My skip button is the right on the arrow key. My pause is my P button. Switch comparison is down arrow key. Switch comparison next is up. I don't really use toggle hotkeys, but when I did, I used Omen 5, which I really don't. And also, if you want to get rid of any of your any of your hotkeys, if you left click on it and click escape, you will see it changes it back to default with /none. Now all of this down here, global hotkeys, which means you don't have to be tabbed into. So right now I'm tabbed into it, it'll work. But let's say let's say I clicked on Discord, it will still work. You can also do something. You can also do it deactivate for other programs. So let's say let's say I was typing something. I can't space. I'm mashing my space button, which is not affecting my search bar. That is because it deactivated it for the program. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to take these off because I don't use them. You can double tap prevention means that you can't really mash through your splits. You have to like wait a second. I don't know what this means. I haven't really noticed anything about it, so I don't really have anything to say on it. Now your hotkey delay, you can change it to whoever you want. I don't know why you change it, but hey, you do you. Now this right here, warn on reset, what that means is if you get a best segment, let's say if you get a best segment and you reset the run, it's like, hey, you want to save this as your best time on the split? And you go, yeah, sure. Race viewer, you can do all of these. I would just use SRL or Speedruns Live. Now, don't bother with the OBS plugin. It doesn't really work. Yeah, you'll see I'll try installing it, and it says it would just instantly fail. Doesn't matter. Active. Here's another thing you can do. That's I'm gonna explain to a bit of detail. Best segments. So if you can add all of these, you can add a none. You can just have nothing, which is pretty dumb. You can have latest run, which shows your splits from your most recent run. You can have your balanced PB, which is all of your splits and your PB like changed a little bit to be a bit more balanced and not as hard, I guess. Worst segments is a combination of your worst segments into a run. Average segments is times you get on average, of course, hence the name. Best split times is the best split time you've gotten without without getting a best. And best segments, of course, shows your bests. Now, here's something else you can do. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of an OBS tutorial with this now. As you see, this has been 30 minutes, but it's been a pretty, I would like to think, an in-depth tutorial. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change this. I'm going to edit my layout, go into my layout, image, solid color, and I'm going to change it to a complete black. I'm going to do that with absolutely everything. Well, I'm just going to take the absence out of everything, so I can just make it easier on myself. And as you see, everything is now, the same. Besides these thin separators. As you see now, it's like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a color source. Doesn't really matter what you name it. Select color. I'm going to select blue. This very dark blue. I'm going to make it take up the entire screen. And as you see now, I'm going to add window capture Livesplit. As you see here, well, I guess I should probably show how that works. Remove. Yes. So basically what I'm about to show you is how to make a green screen effect with your splits. So you see here it sticks out, not really transparent or nothing. So what you do is you right click on your resources, you go to filters, press this plus button, go to color key, name whatever you like, and now go here, then go to your custom color, etc. So as you'll see here, I'm about to move this over. I'm sorry. Now you can't really see what I'm actually. I guess I can make you see what I'm doing. So basically, right here, I'm changing everything. I'm gonna change this. So as you see right here, I'm gonna select color. I'm gonna change it to blue. Look what happened. No, that's okay. Okay. Did I mess something up? I feel like I messed something up. Oh wait, no, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. That's not how it works. Okay, so I'm dumb. Filters, go to color key, and then you don't want to change it to the background color. You want to change it to the color you splits. So if I do that, it now becomes transparent, like fading it in with my splits. So if I do this, you'll see it like fades in. You'll see this. And yeah, that's basically it. That is my Livesplit. That is my Livesplit tutorial. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to let me know down in my comment section below. This is, as I said before at the start of the video, the download link to the site will be the first thing in the description. And yeah, follow me on Twitch. same username and on whenever I stream because I don't have a good schedule. But yeah, besides that, everyone have take a good one.